Olympics. Top 10 moments from the 2024 Paris Olympics, including Simone Biles earning GOAT status, Australiam Raygun goes viral for all the wrong reasons, and much more. The 2024 Paris Olympics is come and gone, but not without tons of great moments that will last a lifetime for these athletes and all those in their countries watching from home. Several moments stood out above the rest, whether they were viral videos, athletes making history, or simply team victories that led to emotional medal ceremonies. After reviewing everything that went down in the City of Light, let's break down the top 10 moments in no particular order that occurred at the Summer Games in Paris. Simone is GOATED. All eyes were on Simone Biles as she returned to the Olympics after experiencing the twisties during the Tokyo Games, ultimately leading to her withdrawal. Biles had wowed everyone in the World Championships, so it was expected that Biles would be back to her usual dominant self. She did not disappoint. Biles not only helped Team USA win gold in the women's team final, but she stood out above the rest to secure the individual women's gold medal. She also won gold in the vault and took home silver in the floor exercise final. Biles is the most decorated gymnast of all time, as she now has 11 Olympic medals along with 30 World Championship medals. She accomplished that feat by doing what she always has, wowing the crowds in the arena and at home with her tremendous skill. Shoot your shot. Turkey's Yusuf Dake was in his 4th Olympic Games in Paris this year, but this one he will not forget after he went viral for his nonchalant shooting technique. While his opponents had specialized gear and eyewear to ensure an accurate shot, Dike was cool as a cucumber with his right hand on his pistol and left hand in his pocket. The 51-year-old ended up winning silver in the 10-meter air pistol mixed team final. However, Dike was not the only viral shooter in this Olympics. Republic of Korea's Kim Gi-jae was wearing special eyewear, but her overall look, which included an elephant toy for her daughter attached at the hip, left many thinking she was the coolest shooter in Paris. Like Dykes, it was not all for show. Yi-ji won a silver medal in the 10-meter air pistol shooting. Home country hero France had some great moments throughout the games, but at Paris La Défense Arena, star swimmer Léon Marchand was putting on a show for the raucous crowd that was cheering him on with every stroke. In his first Olympic Games, the 22-year-old Marchand walked away with 4 golds and 1 bronze in the men's 4x100-meter medley relay. Marchand won gold in the 200-meter breaststroke and butterfly, as well as the 200-meter and 400-meter individual medleys. Marchand is expected to be wreaking havoc in the pool for years to come, but doing so in front of his home country was quite the time for his first Olympics. For all the wrong reasons. Obviously, there were some elite-level performances throughout these Olympics, but one dud continues to make headlines even after the Olympic closing ceremony. Australian girl Rachel Raygun went viral after her performance during the Olympics' new breaking competition saw a final score of 0, and it was quite obvious why after viewing the rest of the competition when it was their time to break. Gun's routine, which includes a kangaroo dance she is now infamous for, became content for late-night talk shows, social media, and more as scrutiny came left and right. It is still ongoing, as many are wondering how the Australian Olympic Committee chose Gun to represent the country in the competition this year. The Olympics is usually supposed to be a time to remember, but Gun is dealing with the repercussions of her performance back at home down under. Newman's interesting celebration. Canadian women's pole vaulter Alicia Newman was another viral moment from these Olympics, and this one came from a celebration after her event. Newman was seen running onto the track after what eventually became a pole vault worthy of bronze for the women, and she started to celebrate by twerking. While many laughed because she acted like she had a hamstring injury before her provocative dance, Newman's actions were scrutinized because many believed she was simply trying to promote her OnlyFans account where she sells explicit photos of herself. The 30-year-old later told the New York Post that her celebration was not because she won bronze, it was because she broke a Canadian record. "If you know me for these many years, I've always celebrated after a Canadian record," she said. "So I had just jumped with the 4.85-meter jump. I jumped a Canadian record, and in the past and every single competition I've ever jumped, I've backflipped, I've danced, I've done any sort of thing that comes out naturally." USA's BST since '84. Team USA was fighting with China for the most gold medals throughout these Olympics, and the final day of competition produced a dead-even split with 40 apiece to tie at the top. However, the U.S. won the most overall medals, securing a total of 126 medals among the 31 teams and 595 athletes that participated for the country. This was the best total the U.S. has seen since the Los Angeles Olympics in 1984. Could that be a good omen leading into the 2028 Olympics in the City of Angels? Joe Kr is golden. He has won every Grand Slam imaginable, but Serbia's Novak Djokovic went into Paris searching for the Golden Slam, which is when a tennis player secures the gold medal, along with all 4 Grand Slam victories at Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, Australian Open, and French Open. Djokovic had his chance in the men's singles final against Spanish phenom Carlos Alcaraz, and the match became an instant classic as the Joker won in straight sets, 7-6, 3, 7-6, 2. The emotions said it all after Djokovic notched match point. As the waterworks ensued, he became the 5th player ever to accomplish the feat in tennis history. USA Rugby's BRONZ NDL Mayoraciel. The United States women's rugby sevens team became an instant sensation back home as the sport created tons of excitement from the jump. As Team USA dominated, they eventually reached the bronze medal game against Australia, where the women were searching for the first ever USA medal in the sport in Olympic history. Team USA ended up on the podium, but it looked like it was not going to happen in real time as Australia owned a 12-7 lead late in the second half. That is until Alex Cedric barreled over a couple of Australian players and found daylight downfield. She hit the jets, trying not to turn around to see who might be chasing her as she sprinted for the try score to tie it up. Things were looking bleak for this USA squad, but when Cedric kicked the rugby ball through the uprights, celebration immediately ensued as Team USA won a medal in dramatic fashion. Hubie's re-stealing LGND Winance 5 Stitrage Kijoldi. Perhaps under the radar compared to other events is Greco-Roman wrestling, and in the men's 130-kilogram competition, there is simply no one better than Cuba's Miguel Lopez Núñez. In fact, Núñez, who just announced his retirement from the sport after these games, became the first Olympian in any event to win 5 straight gold medals. For the last 20 years, Núñez has been untouchable in his weight class, and he is forever a legend on the Olympic stage. ALFRED Winance ST Lucier's Foresti Ever, NEDL. The Caribbean island of St. Lucia, home to just 175,000 residents, had never won an Olympic gold medal before entering the Paris Games. However, their best hope came in the form of women's sprinter Julian Alfred. Alfred was pitted against the USA's Sha'Carri Richardson in the 100-meter dash, an event the American won at the World Championships earlier this year. However, it was Alfred who maintained her great start and defeated Richardson, who took home silver to win gold for St. Lucia. It was one of the best heartwarming stories coming out of Paris during the Games as videos came flooding in of St. Lucian natives crying and cheering for Alfred as she brought home the country's first medal.